Okay, one of the rules of inequalities was, what happens if we're dividing by a minus number? Okay, so if I want to keep the inequality the same, that means I can't be dividing or multiplying by a minus number. If ever you're given something like this with a variable on the bottom of an inequality, you need to get rid of the bottom line, but you can't do it just by multiplying the top by x plus 2. Okay? You have to ensure that it's positive. And this is just something you'll always do if you have an inequality. You're going to multiply the top by x plus 2 to be squared. Why the to be squared? Because that's always positive. Okay? So 2x plus 1 by x plus 2 to be squared. And if I do it to the left hand side, I have to do it to the right hand side. Okay? Because I couldn't be sure that this number on the bottom, when I bring it up and multiply, that it's not a minus. Because it could be a minus. And if it's a minus, I know I need to change the sign. I don't want to have to worry about, will I have to change it, won't I have to change it? So I make sure I don't have to change it by multiplying by the square. Okay, because the square is definitely positive.
Is your x plus 2 to the power of 2 over here 2?
Yeah, it can be. So do you see the way it's a half multiplied by this thing? That means it's either the 2 underneath the 1 by this, which is the exact same as all of it over 2. It's up to you which way you write it. Now over here, the whole point of doing that was to get rid of the x plus 2 on the bottom. So that x plus 2 and the square cancel. That's the point. Okay, I want the x to be gone from the bottom. Now, I'm going to do first number, second bracket, second number, second bracket here. And over here, I'm going to square out. Because it's just a 1 by it, I don't need to worry about it. If it was a 2, I'd square it out and multiply my answer by 2. But it's just a 1 up there. Okay, so how do I square out brackets again? Okay, so I can either do first number, second bracket, or square the first. Product of the 2 multiplied by 2, square the last. And that's all over 2. I'm just going to do some tidying up before I do anything else. Everyone okay with what I've done there? Just multiplied out my brackets. I've done nothing over here. I'm just going to do one more line of tidying up.
So do you just take whatever's on the bottom line and square it at the top?
Exactly. Square it and put it on the left and on the right. And the square and on the bottom will cancel. Always. Why is it okay for me to now cross multiply that up? Because it's a positive. Yeah. And I know it doesn't affect the inequality. So that 2 comes up and gets multiplied outside there. Okay?
Could you multiply the top line by 2 as well?
Here.
Yeah.
And then the 2 and the 2 will cancel. So if you're multiplying the right by a 2, you have to multiply the left by the 2. And it ends up being the same. Can I get rid of what's on the left hand side here? I just want to make a bit of room. Okay, so all I've done is I've brought that 2 up and outside that, and I'm going to multiply it in. Everyone okay with that? Okay. Okay, so I just brought the 2 up and I multiplied it, so it's 4x squared plus 10x plus 4 is less than x squared plus 4x plus 4. What would I do now? Bring everything, yeah. Okay, you've got x squared x's numbers, you normally get that equal to 0. In this case, it's in an inequality. Okay, bring everything over. So I'm going to have 4x squared take x squared is 3x squared. 10x take 4x, sorry, is 6x, and 4 minus 4 is 0. Okay, I have a quadratic here. I'm going to solve it equal to 0. Do your steps. First step is solve it equal to 0. So 3x squared plus 6x equals 0. How do I solve this? Factorize out. What's common? 3x. And I'm left with x plus 2 equals 0. Split your page. 3x is 0. X plus 2 is 0. X is 0 divided by 3, which is just 0. And x is minus 2. Now that I've solved it, what do I do? Graph it. Good. Step 2 is draw my picture. Come back here. This is where we're looking at. Okay? So, what shape is it? U-shaped, because that 3 is positive. U-shaped, and I'm looking for 0 and minus 2. And it's a U. And here, what does less than 0 mean? Below. Lovely. Below the x-axis. Below. Above, above, above. Below, 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 below. What numbers am I going from? Minus 2 to 0, and the x is in between. Is x less than 0 or bigger than 0? Less than. I don't have an or equal to in my question, so I'm not putting one in my answer. So less than, and I'm just copying that there. Okay? Now, just a point to note. This was the question. X has to be bigger than minus 2. It couldn't be or equal to minus 2. Why? If this was minus 2 plus 2, what would I have on the bottom of the fraction? 0. And you can't have 0 on the bottom of a fraction. Okay? So, even if this was or equal to, in my answer, I wouldn't put an or equal to there. Because it couldn't be minus 2. You can't have 0 on the bottom of a fraction. Okay? They shouldn't ask it, but sometimes some of the pre's like to just throw these things in. Okay? That's it.
Do you always take the point from the question?
Do you always take
Do you always do like
this? Yeah, so like my question had no or equal to, so then my answer has no or equal to. Yeah, that's the bit you take. Not this sign. Just because that's less than doesn't mean both of these are. Okay, that's why you have to draw your picture, to see what they are. Okay?